Hello everyone, Mel here. Today I'm going to be running you through a super simple DIY for use with your Breathe or Easy Air Respiratory Support Blend. You would have heard all about this amazing powerhouse from the beautiful Tiffany, and now I'm going to teach you a super simple recipe to use it. So what we are making today is known on the doTERRA.com product blog as a soothing salve. So it's just like a natural vapor rub or Vicks alternative. So yeah, the soothing salve recipe on doTERRA.com is pretty much a base recipe that you can use for anything that you would normally use, any kind of Vicks or petroleum based jelly. You can adapt the oils, so if you were looking to use it for your skin, on the blog they recommend things like frankincense and cypress, and it's obviously going to be fantastic at soothing any skin irritations. But by adding in our Breathe or respiratory support, we're making a respiratory support salve that would obviously be fantastic placed on our chest if we are suffering any kind of respiratory issues. So there is that recipe on the doTERRA product blog, but when I went in there I didn't actually have all of the ingredients in my home with me right now. So that's one thing I love about these natural alternatives, that there are usually so many alternatives online and recipes that you can find that you may have all of the ingredients for. And because they do contain these powerhouse oils, they're still going to be super effective no matter what other natural ingredients you're combining them with. So the recipe that I'm using for my homemade vapor rub salve today is the one from Dr. Axe's blog, and it's literally called Homemade Vapor Rub. So all we need to make our homemade vapor rub is some coconut oil. So this is my standard cooking coconut oil that I bought from my local supermarket. We're going to need half a cup of that. Then we're going to need a quarter of a cup of olive oil. Same thing, standard olive oil that I use in my cooking, that I have in my cupboard, that I buy from my local supermarket. And the other ingredient that we're going to need is some beeswax. So I got this beautiful big block of beeswax from my local farmer's market for something like $4 Australian. So you may be able to source some beeswax from your local honey farmers or from your local farmer's market. Otherwise you can buy beeswax online from lots of online health food stores, eBay, and you can buy it usually in pellet form or in big blocks like that. But in our recipe today it called for grated beeswax. So all I did was grab my big block of beeswax and my kitchen grater, and I've just grated up a quarter of a cup of beeswax. So once we've got our half a cup of coconut oil, quarter of a cup of olive oil, and quarter of a cup of grated beeswax, all we need to do, I'm just moving you over to my stove, is add all of those things into a pot on our stove. So as you can see, I've got a pot of boiling water that I had there, and I've added into that a glass jar which contains all of the products. So half a cup of coconut oil, quarter cup of olive oil, and quarter a cup of grated beeswax. And what I've done is I had that boiling away for about 5 minutes to melt and combine all of those oils together. So they've all melted and combined. And then all we need to do is remove that from the heat. So I removed this a little while ago, so it is quite cool now. I've actually had it sitting in some cool water just to cool it down quickly for the purpose of this video. And now that it is cool and it's not going to affect the therapeutic value of our oils as much because it isn't going to heat them up as we add them in, I'm going to add in some oils into that. So obviously today I'm going to be adding in, because I want this to be a respiratory support salve, I'm going to be adding in the Easy Air. On Dr. Axe's blog post, it does say that you can use 20 drops of eucalyptus and 20 drops of peppermint. Both of those oils are contained in this amazing blend, so that's why I will just be making it straight up with the Easy Air blend. So that's 40 drops of oil. So because I will be using this blend for my children, I won't be adding 40 drops of oil in today. Well, I'm just choosing to add in 20, which I think will be ample, but it's obviously personal preference, how much oil you want in there and how strong you want that salve to be. So I'm adding in my drops straight into our mixture. Okay, so we've got our 20 drops in there. All I need to do now is give this a stir. So as you can see, because I've started to let it cool down, it's starting to set already, which is amazing. So I'm going to give that a stir those oils through, and then all I need to do now, starting to set quite quickly, is grab a jar. So you can use any kind of glass or metal jar. I've got a glass jar that I just bought from my local Kmart. I'm going to pour that straight into there. And then I've got myself a natural Vicks alternative or vapor rub. So it's starting to set quite beautifully in there right now. So I'll scrape the rest of that into my jar and let it set. And there we go. We've got a fantastic, beautiful, natural respiratory support blend to use in our home. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Much love. Bye.